What's going on, YouTube? You know who it is. So as I told you in previous videos, my subscriptions arrived late. So instead of waiting till I read them all and then possibly forgetting some about some, I'm going to review what I read already, which is this stack. About 10 books or so, I'd say. And then after I finish these up, the rest of my pull, which was 23 books this week, after I finish these up, then I will review those probably tomorrow. But this stack is first. And first book up is Jupiter's Legacy number 2. I didn't know how I felt about this book after the first issue, because it was kind of just like, oh, okay, it seemed a little generic to me. And although this seems generic, this issue as well, as the son is going to rebel against the father who's overbearing and disappointed in him, and the outcast child, the problem child. I really enjoy the way it's being told, I guess is the way I could say it. I like the way superheroes are being portrayed in this, of how they're working with governments and kind of seen as more than they're worth. And also, the other child of one of the greatest superheroes of all time in this universe is now pregnant, and she didn't know. So, she had an overdose while she was pregnant. I guess the fetus is fine, though. Really excited to see how this goes. I don't know how I feel about this cover, though. You have the main character there, Brandon, and that's a very phallic symbol in front of him there. I don't know if they were trying to imply anything, but it looks a little ridiculous. That was the second book I read this week. The first one I couldn't wait to read it. And that was this, Batman, Superman number 1. I know everybody's talking about this book. The main thing I hear is the art. I've seen Jay Lee's art before. I can't quite remember in what specific issues, but I know I saw him. He did a lot of the art for the Dark Tower series. He did the art for the Gunslinger crossover, at least, or the Gunslinger miniseries. And I got the Long Road Home is what it is. That's the first. It's the first one in the Dark Tower series, I guess. The Stephen King books that were made into comics. And the art is gorgeous in that, and it doesn't let me down here. There's a few times in here, though, where his panel layout's a little weird, and I didn't really enjoy it. But all in all, this book is awesome. Confused me a little bit when Batman didn't know who he was, and then he did. It was like a future Batman. I don't know. I mean, it was a little confusing, but I'm really excited about this book because I actually enjoyed this Batman in here. Even if I'm not going to see that young Batman anymore when they meet, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if it's a different Superman, a different Clark Kent, I don't know what, but really enjoyed this book. Not going anywhere off my pull. I mean, if it stays $3.99, never mind, I thought this was a $4.99 book. It's definitely staying $3.99, but I can deal with Batman if Superman's there to call him a dick all the time. So that's where I'm at with this. Next, have X-Men number 2, the all-female team. I didn't know much about the characters they were talking about in here. Not so much the X team of Jubilee and Rachel Gray and all them. I know all of those, but the Sentinel lady or the robot lady who is taken over by another lady who can control technology. It was well done. I enjoyed reading it, but all in all, I didn't know the backstory about it, and I couldn't enjoy it as much as I would have if I would have known who she was. That being said, I did really enjoy this book. And compared to some of the other books I read this week, like this first batch, it was a little, limp, but I did enjoy it. And Mohawk Storm will keep me on a book for at least 5 issues, so we'll see how that goes. My cutoff date for a book when it starts new is if I don't like the first 2 story arcs. Usually the first story arc, I give it whatever. I try to take it in. If I don't like the second story arc, that's when I usually let it go. And the only other book pretty much from this batch, which kind of let me down a little bit, was Wolverine number 5. Oh, the digital code is also available for X-Men number 2 if you're interested. Wolverine number 5, you have this storyline, it's Drowning Wolverine or something, and when I first heard about this drowning Wolverine to kill him by Remender in Uncanny X-Force, his last run, it was revolutionary to me. I never thought about it. And I believe Wolverine actually kills his son that way. He kills Daken that way. And really awesome, but I feel like they tried a little too hard to get to the point in this. Nick Fury, I don't know if this takes place in the cinematic universe. It seems like it does because it's Black Nick Fury. And puts him on a helicarrier. He might be infected by these aliens in the air. Something weird. Puts him on a helicarrier and then just kind of shoots the helicarrier towards Atlantis. and then opens the doors to try to drown Wolverine. I don't know. I mean, it's only a 2-part story arc, so we'll see how it's wrapped up next issue. But this one was so-so. The art seemed different on this. I don't know if it's a different artist. I think it is. But I actually enjoyed this art. It was a little more cartoony than I usually like, but I really did enjoy the artwork in that. Digital code available for that as well. Now a book that, when I saw the cover, I was super excited about because I didn't know this is what was going on. It's the wrap-up to Justice League. Well, not to Justice League itself. It's the wrap-up to Shazam's backstory. It was the backstory in the whole Justice League, every issue up to this, pretty much. And this is the wrap-up of the mini-story where Shazam and Black Adam come to blows. Shazam actually, is when Black Adam tells him to relinquish his power to him, Shazam actually thinks about the history he was taught and the lessons he was taught by the Wizard, that the family isn't what it must be, or something along the lines of family, and he ends up giving powers to all of his friends there, creating a kind of a new Marvel family. I don't know if it's going to last, but it was awesome. His tiger showed up in this too, which I'm also a fan of, and it seems Black Adam dies. Billy Batson actually convinces Black Adam to not be Black Adam and turn back to the person who, he was originally. Billy Batson is... Shazam is to Billy Batson as Black Adam is to, and then whoever he was. And it was found out it's been centuries since he turned back into this person. And when he turns back in, he kind of just blows away in dust. Kind of a letdown. I mean, I hope Black Adam's not gone, because I'm a huge Black Adam fan. And if that's how he goes, I'm bummed out. If that's the new 52 Black Adam he's done, I'm pretty bummed out. But I don't know if they're going to continue Shazam on in another storyline. I would like to see a Shazam solo story. Maybe work the family in. You have more characters now you can work with. I'd like to see that. But that was a great read. A book that never lets me down. And that I thought myself to even pick it up when it started, is 5 Ghosts, The Haunting of Fabian Gray. This is number 4 of 5. And it was phenomenal. The art is almost too indie for what I thought I would like. It's very simple, and the colors are kind of not, it's really hard to explain. The only way I can think of it in my head is it's like indie art. But I really do enjoy this. This issue has our main character, Fabian Gray, going through trials of the five spirits that he uses the powers of: the archer, the samurai, the wizard, and Sherlock Holmes, the detective. And after he passes all these incredible tests from them, he comes to the last one, which is the vampire, and he finds out that the woman who he's doing all this for to try to save is actually held captive by the vampire. So, I mean, every issue this has gotten better. It sucks that the next issue is the last one. I could read this in an ongoing. I'd like to see more of Fabian Gray. It's a great character, written very well. I loved this book. And a book that kind of, hasn't been hitting on all cylinders. But because it's Superman, I can't drop it. This is Superman 21. Hive is trying to steal Hector Hammond to create a hive mind in the world. They accidentally electrocute him, and he kind of enters all the minds of everybody. And all of Clark Kent's friends are acting like him, and it was a little awkward. But at the end, it seems that either Hector Hammond is going to take over Hive, or Hector Hammond is going to destroy Hive, or Hector Hammond and Hive are going to come to some type of agreement. I don't see why he would need to, though. He is Hector Hammond. He's the most powerful mind in the universe. Interesting, though. We find some more things out about the guy who told Superman to give up his Fortress of Solitude. It's a Superman title. I'm never going to drop it because I love Superman, and even if it's not a great story, I love Superman, so it's worth a read for me. Now a book that was on the cutting block for 9 issues. And I feel like Marvel watches my videos and knew that I was dropping it with 10, because with 10, it really delivered. I really wouldn't know what happened next. And then I said I'd keep it on for 1 more, and if the next one sucked, I was going to drop it. Well, it was awesome again. Avengers Arena number 11. I didn't really like the first 9 issues, as I said. The 10th one, I really want to know what happened next. 11 was awesome. It's pretty much all about Hazmat. And she kind of mentally snapped. And Reptile, I don't even know if that's his name. They're kind of alone on a beach, and she's kind of just sunbathing and dancing and being joyful. And it eventually, they all think she snapped. And she actually explains that, no, if I know this is my last time here, you're going to die anyway, why not enjoy it while you're here? And although that does seem like a good idea in theory, it's really not, when all of them are going to have to probably die eventually. So there's a whole long thing where Reptile and her get close. He yells at her. They kind of fight a little bit. Not physically, just, kind of just emotional almost. And he actually touches her when she doesn't have her suit on, which she's incredibly radioactive, I guess. And she ends up agreeing to go with him. And she says, whatever, I might as well die trying if not. But super excited on this book now. It sucks that it took 9 issues for me to enjoy this, but maybe without those 9 issues I wouldn't have enjoyed it, because there was a lot of character build-up. Even though I didn't know a lot about these characters, even though I still don't know a lot about these characters, there was a lot of build-up, and maybe I got attached to them. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. Next, a book that something happened in that I called, and a fellow friend of mine, and a buddy of mine, Stickosaurus, also called. This is Guardians of the Galaxy number 4, and if you go back and watch my video for Guardians of the Galaxy 1, I don't know when it came out, look for the date if you want to, but I guarantee you, I don't know about guarantee, I'm pretty sure I say that Tony Stark and Gamora will have sex, and they do. Called it. That's all I wanted to see in this book. It was awesome. And it's like she hurt Tony, the master playboy who's had all these illicit romps through sexual kingdoms, is kind of just made like a little girl. After they're done, he kind of just lays there and he says, ow, and that's kind of it. There's also a bounty out on Gamora. People are hunting her. This guy almost gets the best of her. Rocket saves him. A good banter between Rocket and Tony Stark, but I feel like Rocket's too much of an asshole still. I don't know if this book is how they're trying to portray them for when the movie comes out, but if it is, I'm going to be annoyed by him in the movie, because I'm kind of annoyed by him in here. Groot's a little too dumb for me too, although I guess that's his character. Digital code's available. Just to see Gamora and Tony Stark have sex, pick it up. Now these last 2 books tied for my pick of the week. And I'm just going to show you the one that's on top because it's on top. But both of them are my pick of the week because I can't pick between them. First one, this book, I've been praising this book since I started reading it. And love him or hate him, but Brian Michael Bendis is really killing it on Uncanny XMen. This is number 7. Unbelievable issue. The art in here is almost very digitally made, but it's beautiful the way it's done. The shades are... I don't even know how to explain it. You need to see it to believe it. If you want the code, take it. But it's just phenomenal. I mean, we've seen Magic go through this whole battle with Dormammu for Limbo. He's trying to claim Limbo for himself, and she's talking to Doctor Strange about this. But it doesn't. At the end, it seems it's not our Doctor Strange. It's not the Doctor Strange that knows anything about him being an Avenger or anything. It's a different kind of a different universe Doctor Strange maybe, or a past Doctor Strange. I don't know. But he's talking to her, and he's like, I guess I had to realize that my powers were broken. That's why we were in Limbo. She was taking from Limbo, and it was destroying itself, kind of. But she says I had to grow up and realize what I had to do. So she takes the entirety of Limbo, everything inside of herself. So kind of the power she had, now she has the entire Limbo inside of herself. And that is unbelievable to me. The fact that Magic has this much power. And apparently her powers... Either she found a way to fix her power after AVX, or something. I don't know. I feel like Bendis has a plan for it, and I'm glad he's writing it, although I'm not a huge fan of Bendis normally. Really love this issue, and you really need to pick this up. And the other pick of the week is Uncanny X-Force number 7, and this is what I've been waiting for from this title. If you haven't been picking this up because you don't want to see Puck, you don't want to see Spiral, pick it up now. If only for the Phantom X trio, who is Phantom X, which is the man, Cluster the woman, and Weapon 13, who is the black Phantom X, not skinned, the costume. He's kind of the bad one. They're explaining what happened after the cloning process, and kind of Weapon 13 got the misdirection that they used to use. Cluster got, I don't know exactly what she got, but Phantom X got like the bad guy he wants to rob all the time. And Psylocke is with Phantom X because that's who she recognizes. But it goes on to tell us, it shoots back from past to present about, her kind of dating him again. She actually puts on a purple Phantom X outfit at one point. It's pretty awesome. But comes to realize that Cluster also has these feelings for Psylocke because she was in Phantom X's head. They're all from the same brain. He had 3 brains. They got cloned into 3 different people. And it was awesome, though, because it comes to find out that she is the one that got kind of all the feelings for her. So there's actually a moment where Psylocke and Cluster have a nice makeout session. I mean, it's not really a makeout. It's one panel. It's actually a nice kiss. But I was not expecting it at all. And the whole story in this is Cluster and Psylocke are working together to find Weapon 13, who kidnapped Phantom X. They eventually find him, and it was all planned for Weapon 13 to denounce his love for Psylocke. So we have this crazy romantic square going on. Not even a love triangle. It's a love square. And it's worth picking up. You need to read this book. If you're not that familiar with Phantom X, it might not be that interesting. But me being a huge Phantom X fan, loved it. So if you want the digital code, just check this issue out. Do it. I thought this person on the front here was Blind Owl, which would have been awesome. I don't know what she would be doing, but I don't think it is. I don't even know if she appeared in the issue, but that was the pick of the week from the first batch. So I don't know if the second batch is anything's going to beat that, but I will try to get the second batch up tomorrow. I'm also, because I started my What's in the Box videos where I show you what else I'm working in to my collection, so you pretty much see everything I'm reading. I want to start showing you my boxes that I already have, that I've already read. So then you guys kind of know what I have in my entire collection. During those videos, you ever see something that you're kind of interested in or something, just shoot me a message. What's the worst that could happen? I can say I don't want to trade it or something like that. But either way, thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. I'll try to get that subscription video up for you tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, have a great day.